My name is James Tower, and I'm the blacksmithing pastor. This is my forge. It's my main forge, and it's really served me very well. But there is a problem sometimes with material size going into it, and I need to build a bigger forge that can do forge welding easier, and not just when it's not very windy. Really like this forge, but we need a super forge. It's been a long journey, and it's been a long time coming to get to this point. This is the forge that I'm building. It's going to have what's called a ribbon burner, this top up here. It'll have a cast series of holes so instead of just one big like blowtorch afterburner thing, there's going to be a bunch of little burners. This is what's left of the burner that it used to have, and that was an industry burner, very inefficient. Really didn't care how much fuel they were burning. And so I'm building a burner that will mix the fuel and the oxygen together. And this is what I've come up with. I have this tube here. There's a blower, there's an air gate, an adapter that goes to round. All that comes up, the wind comes up, and then this is where the gas enters the system in this quick release plug. And there's a baffle thing that spins and mixes the gas together that comes through here. And then when it comes to down into here, you can see it's not cast yet, but you can see those little holes up there. There's a piece up in there that distributes the pressure so that it doesn't all just come out right underneath the pipe. All right, so here's what we got. I got the mold for the ribbon burner, forgive the lighting. It's got crayons. The crayons are going to make the space for the air and the gas to come through. This guy has this edge around it that's welded on there that sits it up. It's going to, you see the baffle thing to stop the pressure from just being mainly at the front. But there's a lip here. This is just a piece of tubing with caps on the end and a hole cut around it. And this lip, when I cast this mold, I'm trying not to put too much in there. And then this actually will squeeze in there so the refractory will go up and over this lip. And that little lip is what holds the connections between the burner with the finished casting in it and the metal components. So I can reuse this and recast it later in the future. So I got WD-40, which I'll spray down the mold with so that I can get the mold off of the castable when it's fresh and easy to break. Here are the doors for you can tell, they're really nice doors. They got this little porthole mechanism, but I might need to build up something to form around them. But there's these screws that went through the old casting to keep it from rattling around, falling off. Clearly that didn't work. That was a part of the forge that wasn't still intact from the casting. But I'm just going to cast into this and hope that it works. This will keep my porthole clear. There's two doors. One of them has a nicer handle on it. So I have over here, I have a bucket that I used for casting the refractory last time. It's got a little Kansas dirt in it. Got a bag of, it's basically an equivalent to Mizu 3000. It's a 3000 degree castable refractory. Go up that hot, which is good. I mean, it'd be nice to go a little higher, but this is good. I got a nice piece of old Weeder bar mixing stick that I had from last time. And so hopefully all of this will work. Later, I will bake the burner in the oven under the boiling point of water to dry it out and hopefully melt the crayons. And then for a little bit over the boiling point of water to finish drying it out in a way that's not destructive to it. And hopefully it'll just all work. All right. I have built forms for the doors. Just really quick, the washers that used to be in the concrete, these things won't come out and they're crooked. And I'm just going to leave them and cast around them and hope for the best. I'm supposed to mix that so that it's like stiff oatmeal, like it's kind of a dry concrete mix. I'll try one of the doors first. Oops. Oops. Okay. Doors are less critical. If I mess it up, it's not going to really hurt the forge too much. Sure hope this works. Okay. This is pretty tedious. I would not say it's going especially well. I have to redo it. I'll have some experience. And if it just works, then I will also have some experience. An experience I'd like to have more, but you know. Man, I'm not good at concrete. Let's clean them all up. The doors done. The leftover stuff I put in the forge. There's 2 fire bricks down in there, and I just kind of filled in the gaps and did the sides, and had a little problem in the top here. May have to cast a piece for there later. Like it puts out lots of heat. So again, I got these motorcycle handlebars, which actually provides a pretty handy place to hang my rake there. Got some nice tires, nice rubber stops on the front. So I've got these work rests that I'm making. They have a pin system. They're old parts of a clothing rack. Here's what I have. It's a sliding part. I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a minute. These brackets that slip on, you can see how they come together. I weld the brackets so they're nice and strong, and then I weld the track so that it doesn't shift around on you. That's the plan, and I don't know if I went into this, but I have these railroad spikes, and I recently put new bolts down here, and I did a spring. There's a little spring I bent around there, and what that spring does is stops it from just coming down. It takes a little bit out of it. But I think a lot of why it was broken out was because people were really unkind to the doors. So that'll just make things a lot nicer. The railroad spike deal on there. See, the cart tilts back with these motorcycle bars, so when you tilt it back, the doors would like to fly open. And so the railroad spike is made so that it could be unlocked really easily, but when it's locked, it's in the position where if you tilt it, it won't come unlocked. So it keeps the doors from popping out. So it's coming along. Tomorrow will be the big day. We'll really test it for all it's worth. But it's coming together, and I'm super pumped. All right. So here she is. I've got a base here, fans cooking. Nice and toasty in there. All right, so I had to upgrade the fan. This thing's a monster, and it married kind of to the old thing that I had going on. So now this is what we're looking at. And it feels pretty good. So I guess I'm about to try it out. Okay, I got a couple bars in there. I wonder how long it'll take for them to heat up. Yeah, that'll forge weld right there. So the new forge, I think it's going to be really nice. It's mobile. It should be more fuel efficient. It should be able to forge weld. It's a lot quieter than my previous forge, and I think there's really not a downside yet, except for that it takes a little bit to heat it up, which I can live with that. So I think it's working out pretty well, and I look forward to trying some Damascus in the future.